we have Dr. Darryl. I met Darryl years and years and years ago when I was in Parkway. And when this came around, of course, he was one of the first people that I was like, I want to hear whatever story he wants to tell. And so I'm going to let him come and talk about what would you do to ensure the future for your child.
All right, you got it? You good? All right. All right, here we go. Good evening. All right. So I just want to forewarn you, there is quite a bit of crowd participation that we're going to have. All right, are we ready? All right, so let's start here. This image is going to speak a lot in my story that I'm going to tell today. And what I would like for you to do is to imagine yourself in the story that I tell. Imagine your families, imagine your ancestors, imagine your children, your children's children, right? Imagine your neighbors, imagine those that are connected to you, and also those who are not. And so as we start today, I would like to start off with this question. What would you do to secure the best future for your child? What would you do to secure the best future for your child? Before the sun rose to begin the day, a father traveled a similar path as his ancestors for an opportunity and a glimpse at a gift. Before descending deeper into the darkness of the mission, the first stop was McDonald's for black coffee, right? 4:30. With black coffee in hand and several layers of fabric sitting on the back seat, the father turned the corner into the parking lot and immediately had a very cold sweat run over him. Cold. Tell me more. Anxiety began to rise within him due to the charge that was given to him weeks earlier. The task was to be first. At this moment, the father was visibly third. Exiting the car and quickly sprinting across the parking lot with major disregard for safety, he found himself meeting two other fathers. Father number one in line was very prepared. He had a tent, he had blankets, he had all the coverings, small propane tank, he had all the things. Father number two, not quite as prepared, but here we have father number three, very worried. Again, very worried. Knowing that the moment of truth would come at 8:30, every second that ticked by in the cold of this parking lot was another second in doubt. And so you may be asking yourself, well, what are they waiting for? What are they in line to do? Like a flowing oasis, the doors opened, an emotionally battered congregation of people turned into an amazingly long line. So team, do me a favor. If you are able, please close your eyes. Imagine a long line of people, young folks, older individuals, some in strollers, some in baby slings, some who are not able to walk themselves, some in a wide variety of circumstances, all in line for the same purpose. You may open your eyes. So let me ask, all of these individuals, yes, they're in line, but again, you're probably asking yourself, what are they in line for? We all are in line for a chance for our children to attend a preschool that would meet their needs, support their families, protect their peace. This opportunity could be the light to a future with boundless potential. All of those individuals that I named and described are all in line for the same thing. What does it say about our system where parents have to stand in line to compete for their children's existence, to be seen and valued in school? Now, only was this a chance for my oldest to attend a premier preschool, but also his sibling to attend as well. Every second that ticked by was a hope and a prayer for my child to be in this amazing learning environment. Needless to say, father number 3 was me. Again, I'm gonna ask a different question. How many generations of parents have had to fight for their children's education, and why must this continue to happen in 2024? While one is standing in line, guess what? Many don't have to. Well, Diggs, why is that? It's because they're sleeping. I'm gonna ask another question. What if excellence in education was not a limited resource? So, what if every child had access to a quality education that we all could have access to and line up for? What would that look like? An education that we all would line up for. And so, introspectively, the line forced me to reflect on my own education. While I was in preschool, I was bullied, I was othered, I was isolated to believe that I needed a lower tier of reading service and support. In middle school, my peers were disappearing in great regularity due to an unforgiving discipline policy, and all of my peers looked like me. In high school, I received very little guidance and support and encouragement from a system, again, designed not for the likes of those that look like myself. Now, and yet, I stand in line for a hope and a prayer that my 2 sons do not have to experience what I went through, and yet I stand in line. So for generations, marginalized communities have stood in line for the potential for their gift to match their destiny. And so then often I ask, I go here, what do you want to be when you grow up? How often have we asked that question? How many times have we uttered these words? This casual question should become an exciting exploration of limitless possibility. And yet, we stand in line. Not long ago, a former superintendent asked a group of leaders, I know I'm speaking to the choir, but sometimes we need a rehearsal. And so choir, I'm going to give you 2 things. First, it's to engage. I implore all of you to engage in diverse perspectives, experiences, get to know one another. Those 2 fathers in front of me, and also those that were behind, we are still connected to this day. We have shared a common experience that no one else can tell a story the way that we can because we were right next to each other, needing to go to the restroom. Next, I'm going to ask the choir to commit. I believe of the 2 things I'm asking for you all to do, this is probably the most important. And I say that because we must move words from action and ideas and then push it forth to implementation. Sitting on the sideline serves no one. We must get in the game. And so, team, before we do all these things, we also know that commitment is what moves us from here to there, from this place to that place, from this stage to the graduation stage, from that stage to the greatest possible future. And so, I have asked each of you all today, what would you do to create an education system where your child and in every community had access to high quality transformational learning? But right now, our systems of learning suggest that access to those dreams depends on your ability to stand in line. So choir, I need to hear from you, okay? Are you willing to engage? Yes. All right. Because with engagement creates an opportunity for us to reimagine, to re-envision what's possible. Now again, here we go. Choir, are you willing to commit? Yes. All right. Commit to what? To commit to this work. That's the task. And so because a limitless world can unlock an extraordinary potential for every young person, I will end as I started. What are you willing to do to secure the best future for your child, for the person next to you, your family member, your community, your neighborhood? What are we willing to do? Thank you.